thing I would say is, like, I feel like sports unites people, and that's kind of what this feels like too. It's just bringing people together where they can find joy in something. I think that's what's so beautiful about sports, and what I really love about it, and what I've loved about it my whole life is some of my best memories from being a kid or spending time with my family or my friends have been around sports, and how that brings people together. So that's exactly what this feels like, and I'm sure I'll remember this, for the rest of my life.
Caitlin Clark, a name that stormed into college basketball with unmatched impact, has rapidly transitioned to the WNBA, redefining the very essence of the sport. It's no longer just about her pinpoint accuracy or flawless assists. It's about the gravity she exudes, her unyielding confidence, her magnetic charisma, and her meteoric rise to global stardom. Clark's ascension to being crowned Athlete of the Year wasn't just a milestone. It was a seismic shift that smashed expectations and barriers alike. Her emergence felt like a hurricane sweeping through the WNBA, disrupting the league's long-standing balance. For years, the spotlight rested on established stars like A'ja Wilson, the unquestioned leader in women's basketball. Wilson stood as the cornerstone of the league's growing reputation, an MVP, a champion, the face of marketing campaigns, and the centerpiece of the WNBA's rise to broader cultural relevance. Yet, with Clark's arrival, the foundation of that reign suddenly seems less secure. Clark's impact hasn't just been about scoring titles or record-breaking performances. It's been about shaking the WNBA's core dynamics. She's captured the attention of casual fans, brought in new sponsors, and even attracted celebrity endorsements. The media frenzy, which once revolved around Wilson's domination and leadership, now pivots to Clark's trailblazing presence. The narrative has shifted from "How will Wilson lead the league forward?" to "How will Wilson respond to Clark's unstoppable rise?" This isn't to diminish Wilson's brilliance. Her talent remains unparalleled, her contributions undeniable. But the WNBA has entered a new phase, where a rookie's ambition and unrelenting excellence spark a challenge to the established order. The throne Wilson occupied so confidently now faces a serious contender, and the growing tension between these two forces is reshaping the league. Clark isn't just a scorer or a playmaker, she's a phenomenon. Her signature deep three-point shots, often defying reason, leave audiences breathless. In one moment, a shot seems impossible. In the next, it's swishing through the net, igniting stadiums with roars of disbelief. But her magic isn't confined to the hardwood. Off the court, Clark commands attention in ways that transcend the game itself. From swarming fans eager for autographs to being a constant media headline, her presence dominates spaces where the WNBA had only recently started to gain traction. Her influence extends far beyond basketball's traditional audience. Under her spell, new fans flood arenas and screens, captivated by the fresh energy she brings. She's not just advancing women's basketball, she's redefining it. This surge of interest catapults the league into uncharted territory, where it becomes less niche and more of a cultural force that transcends demographics. Yet, with this rise comes friction. In locker rooms, between the lines of public statements, and behind the scenes, there's an undercurrent of unease. Established players, once comfortable in their roles as the league's foundation, now face a disruptive force challenging the status quo. A'ja Wilson, the face of the WNBA's stability and progress, now finds herself navigating a new dynamic where her dominance isn't unchallenged. This isn't just a rivalry, it's a pivotal moment for the league. Clark's arrival accelerates the WNBA's trajectory in ways no one could have foreseen. She's not simply a new star, she's a cultural shift embodying a new era for women's basketball. The question isn't whether there's room for both Clark and Wilson at the top, it's how the league will harness this tension, turning it into a spectacle that elevates everyone involved. In the end, Caitlin Clark's story is more than just her own. It's the story of a league on the rise, of stars old and new clashing and converging, and of a game evolving in real time. The WNBA isn't just growing, it's transforming, with Clark at its center, sparking a fire that promises to burn brighter than ever before. In the world of sports, jealousy is a word that often goes unspoken, yet its shadow looms large. This quiet discomfort permeates the air in the WNBA, where veterans who once stood as unchallenged icons now find themselves compared to a dazzling new force. Caitlin Clark. The comparisons, while inevitable, carry a weight that can unsettle even the most seasoned stars. They are a reminder of the shifting tides, of a league in flux, and of a narrative no longer centered solely on its long-standing leaders. Clark's rapid ascent has created more than a buzz. It has ignited a storm. Her electrifying performances and undeniable charisma have captivated audiences, drawn in sponsors, and made her the focal point of media coverage. Yet this newfound spotlight comes at a cost. For players like Aja Wilson, the reigning face of the WNBA, it signals a challenge to their hard-earned positions. Wilson, a multi-time MVP and champion, has carried the weight of elevating women's basketball for years. But now, she finds herself in a delicate dance between maintaining her legacy and responding to the meteoric rise of a new star. The tension isn't just confined to the court. It manifests in subtle ways: more physical play, lingering stares, debates over media coverage, and the palpable shift in fan attention. The battle isn't just for championships, but for control of the league's narrative, for the ability to inspire future generations, and for the spectators' hearts. Clark's emergence as a media darling has sparked a complex dynamic. While she draws crowds and breaks records, there's a lingering fear that her dominance could overshadow the contributions of players who built the league to this point. For veterans like Wilson, it's not just about competing against Clark, it's about fighting to preserve their place in the history books of women's basketball. Clark's rise has also exposed an imbalance in how media and marketing amplify new stars while unintentionally sidelining established ones. Her games attract record-breaking audiences, social media buzzes with her highlights, and broadcasters adjust schedules to feature her. While this newfound attention has propelled the WNBA into a brighter spotlight, it has also created a conundrum: how to celebrate the new while honoring the old. Wilson, along with other veterans, has shouldered the responsibility of elevating the WNBA over the years, and their contributions have been integral to the league's credibility. The concern is whether these efforts will be remembered or overshadowed by the whirlwind of Clark's rapid rise. This shift, while challenging, offers a silver lining. The heightened competition can elevate the league's intensity, pushing players to refine their skills and raise their game. The rivalry between Clark and Wilson, and perhaps others who rise to the occasion, creates a narrative that captures attention and fuels the sport's growth. Clark's arrival has undeniably accelerated the WNBA's evolution, turning it into a battleground of talent, ambition, and legacy. It's no longer just about who can dominate the stats sheet, it's about who can redefine the sport and leave an indelible mark. The WNBA's challenge now is to harmonize these forces. The league must ensure that the growth sparked by Clark doesn't come at the expense of its veterans. Icons like Wilson deserve to remain central figures, not just as competitors, but as role models who have shaped the league's foundation.